Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a lovely looking Ford Focus. I think it's the top of the range one because it's the Titanium X model, 2 litre diesel, manual car, and with 61,950 miles. Finished in white, which does look very, very good on these cars. And obviously this is the later style front end on the car. Car's very, very clean and tidy actually. Lights and lenses clear and intact, and front bumper, apart from a few suicidal flies, is all in very nice condition. Bonnet, hardly a stone chip anywhere on there at all. Near side of the vehicle, lovely and clean in the panel work, no indentations at all. Near side front alloy, generally very good, just the one mark on that left hand side as you can see, not necessarily on the left when you come of course, because the wheel clearly rotates at some point. Near side rear alloy, absolutely lovely. Go around the back of the car, bumper corners, very clean, no marks or skags on there at all. Likewise on the offside, driver side, absolutely mirror smooth on the panels there. Offside rear alloy, can't see any marks in there worth mentioning, because there aren't any. And then the final alloy, absolutely spot on. And it really is a very, very clean car indeed externally. Coming into the boot area now, very, very, very big boots on these cars, obviously being an estate car, and in very nice condition as well. Coming into the back of the car, again, all generally very, very nice indeed. Half leather interior on the car, it all seems to look very nice indeed. Coming into the front now, passenger side, again, door card all lovely and clean and tidy. Front passenger seat there, again, all very, very clean. Coming to the front now, again, all been kept very, very nicely indeed. Driver's seat, the one that takes, sorry, just caught in the door there, all aware, but there's very little in there at all. So inside the car now, engine's running through this section, so dashboard can be seen illuminated. See there, sat nav model. It's all been kept very, very nicely indeed. Dual zone climate control system, heated windscreen of course, heated seats. So it's a very, very nice specification car indeed. And there you can see 61,950 miles, and there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all. Just to show you, owner's manual and lock and wheel nut key, both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Ford Focus, and it's the 2 litre diesel, and it's the Titanium X model, estate version I should say as well. This particular car has covered 61,951 miles and is registered ML12TYH. The reason for doing the video is simply so that if you're looking at the car online and in an advert, you actually get to see that very car in operation. We believe it's very important, the reason being that we know to our cost just how frustrating it can be to go and travel miles to go and see a car, only to get there and find out when you drive it, it's got an issue which shows up straight away when you test drive the vehicle. So that's why we do it. It's also done on these very quiet country roads close to our premises, and this actually forms part of the road test route anyone would go on, and hopefully that then would mean this is representative of what you'd feel yourself. Just a very brief background to this particular vehicle. As you'll know from the advert, this is a part exchange which has come in. Chap bought a Honda Civic from us. Obviously our main business is predominantly Honda cars, with the odd Lexus and Toyota, but nearly all Japanese. But obviously we take part exchanges, and obviously this is one of them. I'll go through all the things I do on all of our test drives. So starting with the engine, push button starts and settles to completely smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard while the engine's running, relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge running at just under half, which according to Google is exactly where it's meant to be on one of these cars. So all in fine fatal air. The engine, very muted, it's very quiet. It's a lovely size engine for the car because it's got loads of torque, pulls very nicely, but Ford have done a very job of insulating the engine and keeping the sort of the dieselness away from it, because it's, you know, one of the more refined diesels you'll ever sit behind. Engine then feeds through clutch and into gearbox. Clutch on the car absolutely perfect, bite point's exactly where it's meant to be, and it's slick and smooth in operation. Gearbox, 6-speed gearbox on the car. Ford have always done nice gearboxes on their vehicles, dating back into the 70s. You know, I used to always enjoy driving them, Escorts at the time, and this is no different. Synchro mesh is really nice, gear change actuation is really good and positive, and it feels as tight as it would have done when it was new. There's absolutely no slack in it at all. Steering on the car, which is one of the steering and the chassis actually, one of the, and has always been, you know, the ace card for the Focus. It's one of the very, very best chassis setups you'll ever sit in a family car. Steering tracks absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at all at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. But it's a lovely power steering system. It's perfectly weighted, wonderfully accurate, incredibly fluid in operation, and it's matched to the chassis absolutely perfectly. The chassis is brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and I'm a Honda man, I love my Hondas, but this is a wonderful chassis. It's very smooth riding, very comfortable, deals with the smaller ridges really nicely and quietly, and yet has a balance and poise to the chassis, unlike virtually anything else in its class. It really is a very, very fine thing indeed. What I'm looking for in these road tests, in terms of wear, is basically when you go over a bump, and there's quite a nasty one which I'll wait for, which is just coming up now. This one here. And what I'm listening out for is any kind of secondary noises, any sort of chatterings or knocking noises coming from underneath that shouldn't be there, and there's nothing at all. It's exactly as it should be. Coming to the brakes, going to give them a bit of a shove. I'm not going to shove too hard because we've just fitted brand new brake pads. The pads they would have been okay, but they were getting low enough where, you know, they were changing within the next 5 to 10,000 miles, so we've changed them basically. So I'm not going to be too brutal. So I know they're good, but when you hit the brake pedal, it's a lovely, powerful brake pedal on the car. Pulls up nice and straight, and there's no vibrations or pulsing back through the brake pedal at all. Look around inside, very nice place to sit, and nicely built car as well. There's no rattles or squeaks from inside. It feels nice and solid in every way. Obviously, being a Titanium X, it's a highly equipped vehicle. You've got the sat nav there. Air conditioning is lovely and cold in the car. Just going to spin around here. You've got heated seats, heated screen. It's a very, very well specified vehicle, and it's nicely laid out as well. The dashboard sort of comes out towards you. You can take your hand off the steering wheel. Everything's there to hand, so ergonomically it's been done very, very well indeed. Dashboard, nice and simple, easy, legible. Even someone as technically inept as me can sort of master it relatively quickly. And steering wheel's a really nice, thick-rimmed, chunky affair. Feels great in hand, but all seems to work absolutely fine. I have to say, the car drives very, very, very well indeed. It feels as tight as a drum. There's no kind of slack. It doesn't creak. There's nothing sort of that feels loose or aged about it at all. I'd say it'd be hard to differentiate between this and a new one in the way the car actually drives, as cliched as it actually sounds. But as always, the point of these videos is to pick up on issues. There's nothing at all. It drives absolutely beautifully. If you've got any questions about the car, either email us or give us a call, which is what we prefer. Actually, we like to talk to people. But either way, just get in contact.